can barely see PV, the marine layer is set in. This doesn't zoom too much. A couple of friendly chicks, you know. They like each other. It's good to be close to your friends who need to check and support, bad relationships and all that. Someone to turn to. The tide is high. Oh, excuse me. It's cool. Tony says a cool look to it, round kind of octagon look. Anthony was a good guy. Anthony, good old Anthony, you know. And we got the no fishing zone. Can't fish here. I don't think I've ever seen anyone catch a fish here or anywhere on the pier, honestly. But it's a good hobby to do. If you're not doing anything, you might as well be hanging out at the beach area, at the pier or whatever, you know. Starfish on the table. Or a ninja throwing star. Okay. You got the different animals, you know, dolphins, etc. Porpoises, dolphins, you know, sharks, jellyfish. Creeden. See, an old shark, or a really mean dolphin, I don't know. Sea lions, or seals. Kincaid's, Mr. Kincaid. He opened that place up. You might know him from the Partridge Family. Bonaducci got busted for crack. Right, David Cassidy is no longer selling on Tiger Beat magazine. Bobby Sherman pushed him off the map and took all the limelight. And the what do you call it? The DeMarco brothers, right? They hit the scene and outdid everyone, right? Pushed the Osmonds off the map. You have the DeMarco brothers, right? They weren't Mormons, just regular kind of East Coast. Not as corny, I don't think. Heartbeat is love beat, something like that, right? Osmonds were like Mormon and who knows. But you know, when I was a kid, 3rd, 4th grade, some of the girls, you look like Donny Osmond. I guess because my hair was kind of, people had that kind of hair back then. I don't think I looked like it, but great if I did, you know. That's probably a good thing for the chicks back then, you know. Look, you're next to them with us. Very colorful advertising, as you can see. It's more like an advertisement for the KKK. Give me some of that prime time. There it is. Tuesdays and Thursdays, prime rib. Rare, like you like it. I think John Wayne had a lot of that with him when he died. About 30-some pounds, I believe. But you want to cook your meat. You don't want to ruin a steak. You don't want it brown in the middle, but you want it a little pink in the middle, so the pink starts to go away while you're eating it. You don't want it fully like that. Meat needs to be cooked to be digested. But I see people ruin it. I want my steak well done. Their steak is like a chunk of rubber. What a waste, you know? So you don't want to eat it all the time, but you don't want it fully pink on the inside, lightly, you know, and grilled on the outside. So seared really good on the outside. Sea salt, not more consistent. One guy made me a steak. Guy Dave Jones. He said, "Yeah, I'm doing a steak. I'm moving out of my place. I'm come by, see me. I got filet mignon." That's probably the worst. That's part of the porterhouse, right? It's like small, mushy. It's not really into filet mignon. It has that sound that someone who doesn't know steak, oh yeah, it's filet mignon. It sounds very, up in ears. That's not bad, but, that sets everything on the table. And then the center table puts the thing of A1 steak sauce. I was like, oh shit. I think I told him, that's for meatloaf, hamburgers, old beef you're cooking, whatever, but, just as it says steakhouse, steak sauce doesn't mean it's for steaks, That's a good way to ruin a good steak, Oh, God. Well, the taste will overthrow anything, So that's what you mask that meat with, A1 steak sauce, Hardly for steak unless you want to ruin a good, expensive steak, You don't use Morton's either. Just some steak, you'll find not a whole lot of flavor. Not a whole lot of flavor to it. You add a pinch of sea salt, brings out all the flavor. It tastes great. Whole different flavors. So you need, a little bit of salt, not overdoing it. It's not healthy, but you don't want Morton's. You want sea salt. It tastes really good. Sear the outside, inside a little pink and juicy. Good, Make sure you get your steak. When you buy it, you look at it, it's marbleized, the fine lines of fat going through it. Therefore, it's not a rubbery, gummy type of steak. Gives, makes it way more flavorful, and that's the best steak you can get. Some people don't know that. They make sure there's no fat like that. You want a little to stay juicy and stuff. Like when you're buying hamburger, you don't buy lean hamburger. They wonder why their burgers never taste good. You buy whatever, 25, 30% fat. It cooks out of it, especially when you're grilling it. Drips through it. And for years, I didn't know why I could never make my burgers ever tasted good. So I'm not definitely not buying those ones in the chub that you can't see what the meat looks like. So I bought it where you can cellophane, you can see it. That looks fresh. Every time I bought it, I'd crack open the package, break into it. The inside would be brown. The outside would be pink, making you assume it's fresh. When hamburger goes bad, the outside goes brown and the inside stays pink. You get it? This is the opposite. And I found out they dye it with a dye and blood mixture. They basically scrape the supermarkets and stuff, scrape the floors. You get little bits of lamb and fish, everything in there. Nothing goes to waste. They scrape the floor and all the scraps. They grind it up. It's brown and old. And they spray it, dye it on the outside. That's why it tastes like crap, you see. Amazing. And then I learned those chubs that you get that I never used to get before are federally inspected. They have a federal inspector on site when they make that stuff. So, yeah, that's what they calls this. So I learned you buy the hamburger meat in the chubs. And what should hamburger smell like, or any meat smell like when you open it? Nothing. It should smell like nothing. If there's a smell, that means it's going bad. Those other ones smelled like shit, and the middle was brown. Never get a good burger. So I learned those are federally inspected, and you get 30% fat one, don't get the lean one. Put it on a grill, makes the best burger, And it's not scrap meat in there like the others. They find everything: lamb, fish, anything, pork, scrapings, of traces of any type of thing. Because they basically sweep the floors up, clean up, grind everything up, dye the outside, put the saran wrap around it, whatever. So that's what you have. So a good burger. You think you can't trust it because you can't see it, but trust me, it's the best you can get from a supermarket. In the south side of the pier here. That's how you make a good burger. Throw some avocado on it, tomato. Make your own like secret sauce with ketchup and mayo. Buy the big chunk of whatever it is, pound whatever, of cheddar cheese. Mild or medium, not sharp. It'll be too strong in taste. I take the whole pound and make 2 patties out of it. Flip it perfectly on the barbecue so it drains through, 30% fat. I put the cheese on top of half the, cut up in pieces, put half of it on one burger, half the other, let it melt in, take it off, have a double burger with all that cheese, slice up a whole avocado, put in it, and a whole tomato in it. That's the best, That's like it's a messy burger, but it's damn good, as good as it gets. So you use the whole chub to make one burger, pretty good. That's how you do it. That's how I do it, Jeff Creeden style. I make good. The food I make is good because I specialize in whatever food I make. Pizza dogs, etc. I know all the tricks, so it pays to take a little extra time, a few minutes extra, and do it right. That's how I do it. So I'm gonna stop this. These substations closed down now, I believe, but someone lives out of there. I would rent it if it was available. Why not, right? Okay.